Our next step is going to be combining the Z stepper motor with our lead screw, which will allow our printer to move its x-axis up and down in the Z dimension. We're going to be using some countersunk M4 bolts that we're going to be passing through our Z motor into the two holes on our base. We're also going to be attaching our lead screw to our Z motor with what's known as a coupler. Now, if this name sounds kind of familiar, it may be because you find this word all the time. It comes up all the time on people that do PVC projects when they need to attach one really long tube to another to make a super long bar. And in this case, we're going to be attaching the axle of the stepper motor to the axle of the lead screw, which will mean when we turn our Z motor, we're actually able to raise the x-axis because there is a threaded fitting right on our extrusion assembly. Now, the order of operations of what we do here is actually incredibly important. If we attach our Z motor to the frame and screw it in first, and then put our lead screw into our coupler, we can actually run into a lot of issues. If our lead screw is tightened down and it's ever so slightly off an angle, it means every single time the coupler turns a revolution, we're actually putting stress on our lead screw, and you can end up with evenly spaced defects known as Z wobble. So to counteract this, we're going to be inserting our lead screw into our coupler first and then tightening it down. We'll do this by raising up our x-axis just a little bit, inserting our lead screw into the brass fitting on the extrusion assembly. As you can see, it wants to fall down by itself nice and slowly. And we'll be putting the lead screw into the hole on our coupler. Now we want to put the lead screw into the coupler and actually give it some downwards force until you hear a nice thud. There we go. Then, with that inserted, we can put our M4 countersink bolts through the motor and then into those two small holes on the frame. I'm going to spin this base around so you guys can get a little bit of a better view of what's going on. Now, these countersink bolts are actually incredibly important because when we're screwing the motor into our frame, if it's off by even a little bit, the head will act a little bit like a funnel, where it will fully pull the motor into the correct orientation so our lead screw isn't at an angle. And you can do that on both sides and tighten that down. And that concludes video number 4.